everyone. I'm gonna keep it a little brief tonight. I'm gonna keep it a little brief tonight because I basically have to get up for work in the morning, so I'm not gonna be here long. This is basically a video of me. It's a recording that I just wanted to share with everybody, but since I'm home, while I go through the rigmarole of trying to upload this thing and waste space on my phone. So, given the technology I got, I can actually beam it directly to you guys. And so, uh, let's do this. Change this. Hey, what's going on? So, I'm gonna play a recording that I just did, and I know I won't be able to repeat what I just said because I usually just do that. So I'm doing a non-camera live stream, a short one, because I gotta get up in the morning. So without further ado, as long as you hear AO, uh, I guess we get this started. So here it is for you. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I wanted to go into a little bit more detail and further explain myself on why I don't make it a trend of going into business for actually telling people what they want to hear. I've always been about my opinion. And a lot of people will tell you that they are about their opinion too. But a lot of them are being disingenuous, especially when the donation money comes into play. A lot of people start to tell you what you want to hear in order for you to donate to them. And I'm like, you know what? I would rather you find truth in me for free right now. That's how I do it. Because if I really poured my whole life essence into doing YouTube, I would be like, you know what? I wouldn't work. This would be my source of income. I'll be grinding. Oh, I'll still be working initially, but the moment that everything starts to take off and I become a glorified yes man is the moment I say goodbye to my job. But look at YouTube, and YouTube is becoming the apocalypse. You're not getting pushed if you under a certain amount of videos. You're not getting subs unless you are telling people what they want to hear. And then some people have found their fan base to run who will ride or die. I don't want ride or die. Like I was saying in my Tales from Behind the Wheel video, or Stories from Behind the Wheel, that this is how it's becoming. This is how it is. I'm not a glorified yes man, but I love doing it when I have the time. I love just going live when I had the time. And you know why? I have no expectations when I'm live. People join in. It's great. You know why? Because I operate low key. Okay. Hell, people have even enjoyed when I start talking about what I do for a living out there on the ambulance, and I've actually showed them what I want to do next out there on the ambulance. Some people like, yo, I liked when you actually showed me what intubation is, what paramedics do. And I'm like, I'm not even a paramedic yet, but it intrigues me. I want to learn about phlebotomy also because I found out not too long ago that my field actually qualifies me to be a emergency room technician or a patient care technician. And I'm like, okay, I want to take phlebotomy because that's actually putting needles into people to start an IV line, which is something that puts me closer into knowing more about the paramedic field because they have to administer various medicines and you have to have phlebotomy skill. You get what I'm saying? So I like talking about that. You can even hear me get a little bit more amped up about talking about it because you know what? talking about stuff on Hollywood and everything is fun and everything, but I realize people are a bunch of crybabies about it. I mean, hell, I've even heard one of my favorites people I'm subscribed to actually career policing actors about joining Marvel. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't got the energy to argue about that. There are more important things going on. Okay? Now, I understand where your bread is buttered, but that's not where my bread is buttered. You know, I've lost all type of. I have a passion to talk about it. Let me explain myself. I'm at my squad house for the ambulance days ago, and I'm sitting there just schooling people on Marvel and DC and the movies and the history and stuff. And then he was like, "Damn, you know a lot about that." You know why I can talk so passionately in person to people about it? Because you're less likely to run into a bunch of fanboys who can't think for themselves. And that's what you run into a lot on YouTube. And a lot of people are like, well, damn, Kazama, you're criticizing all these people because you can't cope. No, it ain't because I can't cope. I like to have intellectual conversations, some logical conversations, okay? That's the difference. A lot of people who are fanboys are illogical, or they are very bullheaded, bullheaded, not bullheaded, bullheaded, and they only want to hear what they want to hear. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, fuck it. The floor is yours. Believe what you want to believe. Okay? You come here, you listen to my opinion, agree or disagree, or even put your opinion into it, and I'll respond because I'm in my comment section quite heavily because I believe that's how you should be. Now, if I went to astronomical levels, it'd be harder for me to do that. But you know how much I love reading. I like engaging people. But when you come negatively, I'm like, I'm gonna still engage you, but I'm not gonna go fiery on you. I'm gonna engage you, and then if you return fire, I will engage you again. It's like you keep people there. You want people to actually realize that you're not just somebody there yelling. You actually are receptive. But some people are just not receptive. And you like, you know what? Okay. All right, you make for a video to watch, but I'm not gonna. It's like that's it. You watch it, and that's like it's disposable. But when you have a rapport with your people, like a natural rapport, not just telling them what they want to hear, you like, okay, that's I feel a lot better doing that. Whereas a lot of people just in it for that donation, they go live all the time, like hard. And that's where I bleed into the whole black YouTube sector, where all they do is go live and they just fucking, they don't know how to engage each other. You got men, like, you have black men going at one another. Meanwhile, black women are just going at all black men. But yet these black men are over here cracking jokes and insulting one another, but they're not really going at the source material. They're not going at the black females that much. I mean, I had to watch some of the most disgusting, a clip of something really disgusting. My friend linked me to this baboon of a swirler. Her name's IR Baboon. No, I'm sorry, her name's Crystal Swirl. Anyway, she's trying to say, you know, all you pro-black women, it's fruitless to fight for black men. And then she's holding her phone camera, videotaping gay black porn. Not like in detail, just gay men, gay men of color kissing each other. And she said, this is why you shouldn't fight for black men. You see the garbage that people go out there, and then you have black women who actually eat this shit up like the gospel, because they probably sitting home 305 fucking pounds and they can't get them a quality black man. Just like Lonnie Love. Lonnie Love is a famous black woman. She can't get her a quality black man. Why? Because you are in a higher tax bracket. And men in that same field in Hollywood and media, black men in media, got access to any woman they want. You know why? Because we all know dating today is prostitution. You know? Gone are the days where alpha male actually meant you are a man who had a dominant personality, who got shit done. Now alpha male is all about how much money you make. This is the perception black women and a lot of women in general want you to believe in, so you can actually provide for them. Because if you don't provide for them, if you want to keep your money to yourself, or you just are a true alpha male and you're not a rich man, they want to call you lame because you are still in the place as an alpha male to dominate them mentally. Yes. Like I said, it ain't alpha males aren't dominating physically all the time. Okay? Yeah, alpha males may be considered man who's a handsome male, keeps himself in shape, blah blah blah, but that's not all of it. It's you have that domineering personality. You have that. But now women have perverted that whole perspective, and now alpha males are what you can provide for a woman. That's what make you an alpha male over that. Well, we got thousands of alpha males out here in the black community. Okay? A lot of pookies got alpha male mentality. A lot of them are bitch niggas. Plain and simple. A lot of them are bitch niggas. And I'm like, you know what? A lot of these women who talk so much shit on black men date Pookie. They procreate with Pookie. And then they get mad because Pookie don't want to be a husband. He's a Pookie. What you expect? Of course he ain't gonna be no damn husband. But you want what you want. And when a man who's not a Pookie, who's a brother with some sense logic, who does right by himself and by society, you're not receptive of that. You'll call him lame, especially when he criticizes you. And I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. Black women, you need to be criticized. You criticize black men with impunity, and I understand a lot of that because a lot of these black men do that, and that's not me saying I'm better than other black men. This is me saying that, yes, there are many truths to what a lot of these black women complain about. But don't sit here and act like your shit don't stink, because you are contributing right along with that. For every Pookie, there's 3 Rainishas, okay? There is. So don't sit here and pretend like you are infallible. And remember, where Blackistan is birthed from? Between your thighs. It's the truth. But oh no, oh my God, see if there was more fathers in the household. No. And I hear niggas saying that shit too. But I tell you one thing, a lot of these niggas ain't putting into perspective that a lot of these women choose to procreate with the wrong type of men. A lot of these women choose to go into these situations and let these men run up in them raw because they got the system to back them up. So they put this man on child support. They take government assistance. Okay? And less black men are getting married because the juice ain't worth the squeeze. It's just not worth the squeeze. And a lot of women don't realize that they aren't helping one another. When they sit here and they keep telling these women there's nothing wrong with you, niggas ain't shit, the more men they are repelling, because more men are starting to wake up. There's been a return to standards for quite some time. Okay? There's been a return to standards that's been slowly rising in the black community when it comes to black men. This is why a lot of black men on YouTube are talking about weight right now, and how a lot of these bitches need to lose weight, because a lot of them are out here looking nasty as hell. A lot of them lead with their ass. You know what they say, black men lead with their wallets, and this is why a lot of these women got simps Like, defending them, yes. Black women lead with their ass. Why every picture I see, for the most part, of black women is with them showing their ass? Yeah, we get it, okay? We get it. Your booty is what makes you pretty much attractive right now. I get it. Okay, it's nice to look at. I've seen non-black women with big asses too. Whoop de fucking do. I'm at this point in my age where, what do you bring to the table? And I'm not talking financially. Okay, I'm not the richest man on the planet. So who am I? Who am I to say, look, you need to bring this to the table? You got to bring something to the table, but it don't necessarily have to be money. Of course, if we working together to build our future, yeah, okay, we can work together on that. I got you on that. I got you. I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that's squared away. My thing is, do you bring understanding to the table, or you just bring another man's kids to the table? Do you bring serenity and support to the table as I would for you? Or do you just bring another man's kids, or you bring greed and ratchetness to the table? You tell me. But there's a lot of blame going towards, always towards black men. And this is what I deal with also on a daily basis. You know, and a lot of people ask me, like, Kazama, why are you single? There's a lot of factors to that. It's because it's not, I had red pill and MGTOW ideology in me, and I didn't even know what MGTOW and red pill was. The more I started going through stuff, I started realizing, damn, yo, every time I've actually been in a relationship, I've been making mistakes. And then I started realizing, even when I was trying to rectify the mistakes, these women still thought that the sun rose and evolved around their asses. And I'm like, you know what? Why pretend to be some bleeding heart simp? I became less and less cooperative with how these women think. And I started realizing, like, yo, these women, they not happy no matter what you do for them. I ain't speaking for all women. But I started realizing a lot of these women just weren't happy no matter what I did. So I'm like, fuck it. Why am I doing this? Why the fuck am I doing this, man? And that's what led me to where I'm at right now. I'm good. I started realizing I was making too many mistakes. So I needed to take myself out of the game. And you meet some women that say, you know what, that's really responsible of you. But then you meet women who like, wow, who hurt you? I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Who hurt me? No, I kept hurting myself by putting myself in situations I shouldn't be in. I'm supposed to learn. You're supposed to get better. You're supposed to be like a Saiyajin, whatever you call it, Japanese or American. You get better and stronger with each battle. But no, these motherfucking women are insane out here sometimes. You know? They have this whole sense of insanity. You keep making the same mistakes and expecting different results. But I'm not that type of person. I have grown and I'm still growing. And I'm at this point like, I don't tap dance for nobody anymore. I really don't. And I think you shouldn't either. I don't care if you're a male or female. Like, you know what? Evolve and get better. That's all we can do. But don't evolve for one specific person who's just not happy. Okay? This is the thing. Like, I'm not going to be trying to pull out all the brakes for somebody who don't see you and love you for what you are. Yes, we always want the people we love or are in love with to do better. But they don't see nothing in you besides what you can do for them. And that ain't the type of person you should be with, man or woman. But I digress. So as usual, KazamaFury, I'm here. And now I'm out. Peace. All right, y'all. I just I just recorded that earlier, and I ain't gonna lie, I recorded it while I was on the crapper. But yeah, I had to come on live and actually share that with y'all because it's a lot easier to do that while I'm home than it is trying to process the video and upload it, and it kills memory on my phone. So there's something else I want to do before I go because, like I said, I gotta get up for work in the morning. I also want to share a lot of things that I've been working on too. Well, I mean, like notes that I've written that I probably haven't started. Let me see. What do I have right here for you guys? I was something I wanted to read to you guys also as well. And here it is. Uh, it's been impossible mentally from my point of view to do videos I would like to because to be honest, a lot of people out here who call themselves gamers lack analytical skills, which is replaced by just being a blind, delusional fanboy. And I, for one, I don't have time to go left to right with a bunch of people who can't see the forest for the trees. Now, I don't claim to be some super intellectual genius, but if you have analytical skills, you can break down things and see things for yourself. But what we have here in the world of YouTube is a bunch of people who just want to be told, they just want to be told that the box of plastic and wires that they prefer to play on is better than the other. On top of that mountain, we have the Sony ponies who are having a hard time accepting that all the garbage they've been talking about Microsoft's approach to gaming from monthly services to multiple platforms is now becoming a reality on PlayStation. Now they have to accept it. Will they accept it when Sony fully embrace it? What I'm talking about here is the whole aspect of you know, Sony. We hearing again that more than likely Horizon Zero Dawn will be playable through PC. I mean, come on now. Death Stranding will be out in the summertime. It's starting. Sean Layton is out of Sony. Mr. I want to do nothing but the same story narrative type of games with super cinematic scenes and super facial details, but the gameplay ultimately is like the same shit. That dude, he's out. Sony is moving in a different direction. And the fanboys are so delusional, especially Gay Tech TV and his slothy mouth. You know, him and his retainer in his mouth and stuff. So Sony embrace the change? You bet they will. Right now they talking shit about it, but once it gets put into motion, they're gonna act like they never complained about it. You know? But maybe that's just me. But you bet they ask they will. This is why I don't like fanboys. They'll let mistreatment and lies from gaming companies go by the wayside just to argue and bicker with one another. Think I'm exaggerating? No, I'm not. I'm not. Look how easy they gave into Square Enix, who just delayed Final Fantasy VII Remix. They gave in to the fact that Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be episodic. They even started explaining to us. Like, they started damage controlling with a whole bunch of unconfirmed rumors. Like, you know what? Hey, they just doing it because the game is so big. Midgar is going to be so explorable. And you just got to understand. No, until Square Enix get in front of this and start saying that, I'm not accepting that. If we got a full version of Red Dead Redemption 2, a big game, we got a full version of that. If we getting a full version of Cyberpunk, which is another game that's got delayed, but if we getting a full-on version of that game, I don't want to hear shit from Square Enix or the Final Fantasy VII fanboys talking about how this game is like, you know what? This game has to be episodic. We don't even know how many parts coming out yet. And if they charge $60 for every part, are you going to be happy about that? Hey, how you doing? Mr. King Games. Legendary. What's going on? But yeah, like I was saying, Red Dead Redemption 2 was a full game. We got a full-on game. Full-on. and stuff. And while we on the subject of PS4 exclusive, let's not forget the 400-pound gorilla in the room. And I said that, I mentioned that earlier, that both Death Stranding and Horizon Zero Dawn, games built on the gorilla, on the Decima engine, are both heading to the PC, which brings me back to the whole thing of how a lot of the opponents were like, "Oh, Game Pass bad, Sony good," and I'm like, "Oh my god!" All we have now is a lot of butthurt fanboys complaining. I already mentioned JTech TV. He's a known Sony deep throater. He hates PC for a passion, with a passion for some fucking reason. So my PC people are always port bagging. I'm like, no, not really. No, maybe the Nintendo Switch fans are. And then I consider like JTech pretty much like the black version of the Dreamcast guy. Not like they do the exact same delivery. It's just that they both make up bullshit. Remember that whole thing that Dreamcast guy was talking about? He had the inside information about somebody who played PS5 and he got caught out there. And we had like fucking, who did we have come to defend him? We had like Review Tech USUA. We had fucking RGT defended him like he made a mistake. No, there ain't no fucking mistake. You know? Did he make a mistake when he said, Soldier Boy, I just want to expose how stupid this boy is, to a black dude, about a black guy, which he erased and he changed it around. He had to edit it. I took a picture of that when he said how I just get frustrated. Now I'm gonna show everybody how stupid this boy is. I'm like, Soldier Boy's probably the same age as you, maybe Dreamcast guy. I mean, if that's the case, you look really bad for your age. Anyway, uh, Dreamcast guy and J Tech are like probably fondling Sony. Like they got Sony scrotum. They both like simultaneously got each ball in their mouth, and they both blush when their tongues make contact and shit. Anyway, oh man, oh, and anyway, before I go, I was like, I want to talk about the DC fanboys as well, y'all. Oh man, the DC movie fanboys kill me too on another level, that they hate Marvel Cinematic Universe, but then they equally hate the CW Arrowverse. Now, me for one, I stopped watching a lot of CW DC shows because they become too formulaic and too CW. They got to have the whole push, the whole inclusive rainbow thing in there, which, look, they do it hard on CW. I know they appeal to their demographic, but like I said, let's talk about seasons and purity. It's 22 episodes. It's too much for me. There's too much commercials, too much filler episodes. I don't know. I moved on to streaming TV. I like shorter episodes that are more condensed. They got more quality to them. But I have to give it to the CW series because they did the team ups. And meanwhile, the DC movie fanboys don't ever talk about the fact that DC movie universe could not get a coherent shared universe off the ground, whereas CW could. All right, and check out the 5-part Crisis on Infinite Earth. I know it's low budget, and what they do on shoestring budget. This is what I'm there for. When the team ups happen every season, you will get me interested in them. And when they did Crisis, they Ezra Miller, the Justice League Barry Allen, the Flash, somehow tapped into the Speed Force, and him and Grant Gustin met on camera, which shows there's a continuity, that the multiverses means that the movie DC and the Arrowverse exist at the same time. Finally, YouTube the clip of Ezra Miller meets Grant Gustin. You'll see both Flashes talk to each other, which, and then before Ezra Miller, Barry Allen, vanishes, he says, "I told Victor this type of thing was possible." He was talking about Cyborg, Victor Stone. They were talking about multiverses, and he somehow Barry, the movie version of Barry, hasn't tapped into the Speed Force ever, and he did, and he met he met the TV show version of Barry, and he vanished because, which brings up an interesting point. The infinite Earths being destroyed did not affect Barry. Barry didn't even know what was going on. He was in the Speed Force. What was he? The movie version, Barry met the TV version. He didn't know what was going on. Let me see. You said, "Hey, I'm Sean. I just changed my." Okay. How you doing? Sorry about that. So, yeah, CW is more ambitious on a low budget, boggled down by the CW drama formula. They still manage to do crossovers and still manage to build a better universe than the DC movie universe have. And I know a lot of people going to talk about, "Hey, Joker." Now, even the DC fanboys is trying to use Martin Scorsese's rhetoric against Marvel and be like, "Oh, it's quality cinema." I'm sorry. I seen the Joker. Good performance by Joaquin Phoenix. Would I watch it again? Probably not. I don't think the movie to me is overrated. And it's kind of dumb. Joaquin Phoenix is a good, like, he but the movie is dumb. Like I'm sorry. It's like the more you watch it, it's just a movie you can. It's like a one and done. Basically, with that, I don't care about how many awards it wins or anything, because we all know damn well if it was a Jared Leto type Joker, and no disrespect to Jared Leto, if it just was that type of Joker, and it was more in tune to the comic book, uh, this movie wouldn't be winning awards. It had to be something else. It had to be a more dramatic film using the Joker's name to become a hit. If it was just a superhero movie, it wouldn't be a hit. And the thing is, I mean, it wouldn't be a super hit. You know, you'll hear more and more of these people like Martin Scorsese, Jennifer Aniston, whatever the fuck, Jodie Foster talk bad about, "Oh, these movies are poison the box or to the movie thing," and I'm like, you know what? And I said it before. If Martin Scorsese's films were big box office bank, he wouldn't be complaining. We know that. We fucking know that. He would not be complaining if his movies were box office bank. You know? But that's just what it is. So it's like the DC fanboys are like, you becoming like the Star Wars fanboys where y'all fight amongst one another. You know, we got factions of people who think that the original trilogy is the best and nothing else will ever touch it, which destroyed the Star Wars fan base. But also, let's talk about how the Star Wars fanboys will never ever be happy because nothing will ever touch the original movies to them. Nothing ever will. And I don't like the fact that when people talk about their childhood was ruined, I'm like, your childhood is over. You're a grown ass man or woman. Okay? I'm sorry if you are now a adult and these franchises that were meant for kids don't appeal to you. Okay? They don't. They don't appeal to you. People don't factor in, like I said, people lack analytical skills. Right? And let me read what you said. I just ate breakfast. It's morning here in the Philippines, and I'm also excited about Joker. Too. They say his hallucination in the first movie, and some of it. No, a lot of it was fake. That's what I'm saying. Is like a lot of it, like, is either one. I say a two. Watch it twice, and you pretty much done with it. You start to realize, like, and they explain. I'm sorry, it is a one and done. They explain it to you that he was hallucinating most of the time. And this movie was just Joker by name, because this cannot be the Joker that goes up against Batman. This dude is a he was a he was an idiot. He was an idiot. Now he did some things that were cathartic, but the movie started with him just getting beat down, and I'm like, oh my god, this is what they this is the shit like they did to make you feel sorry for him. Whereas in the Raimi Spider-Man movies, they were basically just to show you just how fucked up of luck he had. Peter Parker in those movies had the worst luck, which annoyed me after a while. Like, it was just so annoying, and I felt that same type of burden watching Joker. Like, the same type of burden. Like, oh my god, he's gonna be beat down. He's gonna be well. At least Spider Man still did what he pushed on, and still was a hero despite being kicked by society, just having bad luck. Whereas this Joker was like, okay, he was a mentally disturbed man. Everything in his life was a lie. He was just it was a perfect storm. This is why I think Joaquin Phoenix's performance was like, all right, it was just like a perfect storm. Oh yeah, I heard about Jared Leto. Jared Leto he recorded so much footage of Joker. He thought the character was gonna be bigger than they was like. They brought in a video company, a company that make music videos to edit Suicide Squad, and they took out so much Joker stuff. You know, they took out so much. I would be mad too. It ain't because of Joaquin Phoenix performance. You would have gave that movie to Jared Leto. He would have gave you a great movie too, because Jared Leto is that good of an actor, and he's a method actor. It's just that he did what was told of him, and they shitted on him. Okay? If you give Jared Leto what you gave Joaquin Phoenix, he would make it work. I mean, look at him in Dallas Buyers Club. Okay? Look at him in that movie, like how he he was a transgendered HIV woman. Like, and the thing is, a lot of people don't like Jared Leto as the Joker. I understand that, because you didn't see enough of him. Honestly, thinking about it from a standpoint, you did not see enough of Jared Leto whatsoever. Like, you just did. That's why I'm like, you know what? You saw him for less than 10 minutes. I can't really, do we really call that the Joker? No, I can't. I mean, he had a far better, like, he was, he could have been more comic book true. I know he had the tattoos and everything, but there's been so many different renditions of the Joker. We had Cesar Romero from the old 60 Batman series. We had Jack Nicholson. We had the one before that in the 1930s Batman serials. There was so many different renditions of Joker. We had the Joker from what we seen in Super Friends, or from what we seen in The Batman that used to come on the WB, where he had the long hair. He had no we had a lot of different Jokers. But I didn't see enough of Jared Leto, to be honest with you. It was only like 10 minutes, and I heard it. He revealed, Jared Leto, that there was so much unused footage, like an hour of it. Okay? But this new Joker movie, like I said, good performance, bad Joker movie. He was a bad Joker, meaning the character, the way that this is not the Joker to me. Was it a good movie? Yeah. Him dancing down the steps and stuff like that. He'd do that dance after he did something bad, and I'm like, this is where you know he's imagining. I'm like, you break the movie apart, and I'm like, oh no, I'm good. Like, yeah, I just was like, oh yeah, and I forgot Heath Ledger's Joker too, and stuff, and I'm like, there's just so many different Jokers, and the thing is, don't get me started. Oh, now you done open the floodgates. I'm sorry, Christopher Nolan Batman movies, with the exception of Batman Begins, really didn't help DC in the long run, because they have this thing like, I don't know. I like Christian Bale, but outside of Batman Begins, those weren't Batman movies to me. It just wasn't. Yeah, I know he was in a suit. he he was able to defend Gotham, and he got set on fire. And he was calling for Alfred, 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 Alfred. No, I'm sorry. I like in Batman Begins. That was a Batman movie to me. But then when the Dark Knight came out, with the exception of Heath Ledger, Batman sucked. Movie. And Dark Knight Rises, he sucked in that movie too. And then we deal with Mr. Wayne. You fight like a young man, and the stuff. And I'm like, all right, Tom Hardy, you're doing it. And let's not forget about Tom Hardy, his accent for Eddie Brock and Venom. I'm like, fuck me. I thought I was annoyed by Christian Bale's same American accent, even when he was playing Moses. So, speaking of Christian Bale, people are actually, like I said in my video earlier that I played for y'all, people actually are losing their shit. The DC fanboys are getting mad because he may actually play a role in Thor Love and Thunder. Oh, he's such a serious actor. Why not, stay away from Marvel movies? They so lighthearted, they so jokey. DC's about, no, fuck that shit. DC come out with one rated R film that's a hit, and all of a sudden they back the darkness and they making quality cinema. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense. Yeah, I know Venom was a man movie for a lot of people. It made over $900 million thanks to China. It made just about nearly 900 million and stuff. But my whole thing is that, speaking of making that much money, Venom being a success is what's gonna ruin the Spider-Man series. Because Spider-Man had this partnership with Marvel Studios, which almost went to shit. But then now they back into doing this whole universe together. Well, sharing a little bit of the Spider-Man character and other things. We seen the Vulture, Michael Keaton Vulture, make it into the Morbius trailer. So there's a lot of things going on. Maybe they come to terms with this whole thing. But the moment that happened, oh man, you DC fanboys were like fucking like fapping in their pants. And you know why I keep calling out DC fanboys? Because they do the most bitching. I don't hear Marvel fans crying about anything that much. Because why? Marvel has proven again that they can build shit from nothing. That's what they did. They didn't have Spider-Man because Sony got the movie rights to that. They didn't have X-Men because Fox had the movie rights to that, but they made Iron Man, who was a D-list character, into an A-list character. They made Captain America, who was a C-list character, into an A-list character. They made you like these characters. They made Thor. They made Thor, who was one of the most stuck-up, boring characters. They made him into a goof, which worked for him because Taika Waititi turned out to make the most successful Thor movie to date. Seriously, people can say whatever they want about the tone about that, but we got to remember at the end of the day, these movies are not for adults specifically. I know we grew up with these characters, but you gotta understand, when you make movies that children want to see over and over again, that's the whole the whole target there. Yes, adults are gonna go see these movies too because of nostalgic reasons, and you got to make a solid film that touches everybody. Okay, not just like, oh, you a piece of shit, you're gonna get what you fucking deserve, and just shoot somebody in the fucking face and, oh my god, that's quality cinema. Oh my, yeah, they worked out the deal again, so Sony and Marvel are back on, I guess, decent terms. So they're gonna do they doing the third Spider-Man movie, and I think the Morbius movie takes place in that, because if you look in the Morbius trailer, of course I say Michael Keaton as Vulture is back, and then on top of that, you see like a little Easter egg of Spider-Man tattooed on the wall, and it got murderer written over his name. Because remember what happened at the end of Far From Home? Mysterio set up Peter Parker and said that, and like Peter Parker, and made it look like Peter Parker killed him. When in fact we know that was fake footage. He's the master of illusions and technology. He made it look like Peter Parker caused that whole thing over in London, and he made it look like Peter Parker killed him. So that's why you see those Easter eggs in the Morbius trailer. So I don't know where they're going to go with this. I hope it works out between Marvel and Sony and this relationship continues. Because like I said, the DC fanboys want it to fail. And I can run down the list of a lot of DC movies I like. I thought Wonder Woman was good, but this third act was shit. Aquaman, I fucking like that movie. Even though you hear, even the DC fanboys complain about it. Oh, I hated Black Manta. I'm like, he's not gone. He's back. If you see the end of it, you realize he's alive. And this is the origin of Black Manta. I don't know why people don't, they remember, they forget that the movies that they saw actually aren't like, are like different from the comic books, but they realize that the movies start off, first movies are pretty much a jumping point where you could just, this is an origin, and we're going to see the origin in live action. But no, they want characters to be the way they are now. Like Spider-Man. Oh my God, this, that, and the fourth. He can't do this, he can't swing. Every movie Spider-Man has evolved. Every movie Spider-Man, Tom Holland's Spider-Man has evolved. Civil War, he was a rookie. He just got his powers. Spider-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming, he was still learning his powers. He was afraid of it. He didn't know how to swing high. Avengers Infinity War, he was swinging high and flying and swinging through Manhattan. He jumped off and went over the bridge and took off. Something he was afraid to do in Homecoming. And Infinity War, he was good at. And then on top of that, in Endgame, he was out there fighting with a whole bunch of superheroes and stuff. And then by the time Far From Home came, he was getting more seasoned. And he was learning about his spider sense, which he didn't understand in the first few movies. Now, in Far From Home, he evolved. People want to see, I want to see this character do this now. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This is why sequels are made, so a character can evolve. Now, if they were telling a graphic novel like Watchmen, you watch that evolve through the whole movie, because Watchmen is a graphic novel, not a series of comic books with years and thousands of issues, And when Aunt May called it the Peter Tingle with his spider says, he like that. Don't call it that. But then when you saw him rely on it and he started using it on it when he's fighting Mysterio towards the end of the movie, I was like, that's dope. How he just stopped fighting that feeling. It scared him how that felt, and he just gave into it, and his body just flows. That's how the spider sense works. He's a boy. He's a teenager. He had to learn how to deal with this stuff. You see. Also, the Sony Disney fight is still going, so I doubt. No, Spider-Man 3 is happening. Spider-Man 3 is actually happening. That he returned. They're gonna that Spider-Man movie is gonna be MCU. So that they talked about that months ago. That's gonna happen. That third movie. Yeah, and his reaction when his spider sense went off. Yeah, that's what he was like. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. He felt that. He feeling that he was next. He knew it started. I think that's pretty much what unlocked it for him. But Far From Home finished that off, and you saw his he started fully embracing it in Far From Home. And that's the thing I liked about Marvel too. The world building. You don't now. I don't think every movie's. Oh my god, every Marvel movie's awesome. But you know what I like about the Marvel Cinematic Universe? They built a universe. When Tony Stark died, you was like, you cared because you spent a decade getting to know this character. So you seen Tony Stark evolve, but you complaining about Spider-Man evolving. Like, some people, get your priorities straight. Yeah, I mean, like, he was what, 16. He's a 15, 16-year-old kid in these movies. And a lot of people don't, like, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, he's a boy in his movies. And if you go back to Amazing Fantasy number 15 back in the 60s, Spider-Man was a boy. I don't know. People kill me. And people don't even understand how authentic they are playing the Spider-Man's origin from starting out as a boy. Whereas the Raimi series started him out as a teenager. He was a little bit. Oh, he was 18 years old when he became Spider Man, and then he graduated from high school, and they montaged his graduation. Where this one here, Spider Man's best times were like in the comic book, like in his origins was high school. So I don't know, man. Yeah, he that's his spider sense was kicking in. I don't feel Mr. Stark. I don't feel so good. Exactly. And then the relationship he had with Happy Hogan, how Happy Hogan was like, you know what, Stark believes in you now. It's your turn to step up. We not looking for the next Iron Man. Nobody will ever be the next Iron Man. Now it's about you forging your path as the best version of you, which Stark was trying to teach him. In other words, how Happy was continuing with that. So it's a lot of things with that going on with it. This is why I can explain why I like how where they going with Spider Man. Whereas you hear a lot of people who pretend to be level headed complain about the most dumbest shit, you know. But it's past 11, y'all. I at night here. I have to get up for work in the morning. Thank you for coming on, y'all. And but I have to shut this stream down because I have to get some much needed REM sleep. Okay? So thank you for watching, everyone. Cause I'm a Fury. I'm here and now I'm out. Peace.